Most people announce their comeback before they begin building it. They feel the discomfort of failure, the weight of disappointment, the sting of being overlooked, and their first instinct is not correction. It is declaration. They post about the shift. They speak about the grind. They tell the world change is coming. It feels productive. It feels powerful, but it is premature because a comeback is not a statement. It is a sequence of controlled decisions repeated in isolation. Weak men seek validation before results. They want reassurance that they are still capable. They want applause for intention. They want encouragement before effort. So they talk. They announce new goals. They share motivational quotes. They post gym selfies in the first week. They explain how focused they are about to become. And with every announcement, they release pressure. Talking creates the illusion of progress. The mind rewards you for declaring intention, almost as if you have already acted. Dopamine rises not from execution, but from attention. But attention is not achievement. Silence builds pressure. Talking releases it. When you speak about your plans too early, you leak energy. You reduce the internal tension that should have fueled discipline. You trade long-term credibility for short-term validation. The loud man wants witnesses. The disciplined man wants results. There is a difference. Posting progress too early satisfies ego. It says, "Look at me improving." It invites approval, but improvement is fragile in the beginning. It needs protection. It needs repetition. It needs focus without distraction. Announcing goals creates expectation. Expectation invites commentary. Commentary divides attention. Instead of concentrating on becoming better, you begin managing perception. You adjust behavior to look consistent, not to be consistent. You focus on appearing busy instead of becoming effective. You seek sympathy for your struggle. Instead of solving the problem, you explain how hard it is. Instead of enduring how hard it is, silence removes performance. When no one is watching, you cannot perform strength. You either build it or you do not. Real growth happens in silence because it requires discomfort without applause. The early mornings, the corrected mistakes, the hours of practice no one recognizes. There is no audience, only repetition. Only structure. Only you facing your patterns honestly. Private correction is not dramatic. It is technical. You analyze what failed. You identify weak habits. You remove distractions systematically. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop explaining yourself. You start adjusting variables. Sleep, time management, skill gaps, emotional reactions. It is quiet work, and it feels unimpressive. But unimpressive work compounds. Pain handled privately becomes resilience. Embarrassment processed quietly becomes maturity. Rejection examined logically becomes strategy. No public speech can replace that. Identity transformation never begins on a stage. It begins in isolation. When you decide that the old version of you is no longer acceptable, not publicly, internally, you examine your standards. You ask difficult questions. Where did I lack discipline? Where did I react emotionally? Where did I choose comfort over growth? Silence gives you space to answer honestly. When you are loud, you are tempted to protect image. When you are silent, you are forced to confront reality. Habits are built in isolation. You wake up earlier without announcing it. You train without documenting it. You study without broadcasting it. You stack skills quietly. Communication improves. Thinking sharpens. Physical strength increases. Emotional control stabilizes. No one notices at first. That is the point. Silence is strategic. It protects your momentum from external noise. The loud man seeks validation during the process. He wants recognition for trying. He explains his setbacks publicly. He narrates his grind, but explanation consumes energy. Every time you explain, you relive the struggle. Every time you seek sympathy, you reinforce victim identity. The silent builder does not romanticize struggle. He treats it as data. If he fails, he adjusts. If he falls short, he refines. If he feels emotional, he regulates. There is no announcement. Delayed gratification becomes his advantage. He sacrifices early applause for later authority. He accepts being underestimated. He allows others to assume he has fallen behind because he knows something they do not. Progress made privately cannot be interrupted by public opinion. When you stop performing recovery and start executing it, something shifts internally. Your focus narrows. Your conversations change. You speak less about what you will do. You think more about what must be done. Emotional discipline strengthens here. You no longer react to being doubted. You no longer chase the need to prove yourself quickly. You understand that quick proof is fragile. Sustained performance is undeniable. Masculine restraint is not silence out of fear. It is silence out of calculation. You do not reveal strategy before execution. You do not expose vision before foundation is built. Strategic thinking requires patience. You plan in years, not weeks. You build systems instead of bursts. While others sprint for attention, you walk steadily toward mastery. This makes people uncomfortable. Because silence removes predictability, they cannot measure your progress. They cannot comment on your direction. They cannot interfere. Private suffering becomes fuel, not something to display, not something to dramatize. You endure doubt without broadcasting it. You face insecurity without turning it into content. You strengthen quietly, and over time, the difference becomes visible. Not suddenly, gradually. Your posture changes, your voice steadies, your decisions become deliberate, results begin to surface, income stabilizes, body strengthens, mind sharpens, opportunities increase. Those who talked early must explain later. Those who built silently let outcomes speak. A comeback does not begin when you declare it. It begins when you remove unnecessary noise. When you stop asking for encouragement. When you stop explaining your pain. When you stop trying to look busy and start becoming effective. Ask yourself directly, are you building? Or are you performing the idea of building? Are you improving quietly or advertising effort prematurely? The difference determines trajectory. Silence is uncomfortable in the beginning. There's no applause, no reassurance, no confirmation, only you and the work. But that discomfort is refining. It forces discipline. It sharpens focus. It builds internal power. Long-term results require long-term restraint. If you truly want elevation, accept being unseen for a season. Accept that no one will notice the early corrections. Accept that real transformation is boring before it is impressive. Then build anyway, without noise. Without drama, without announcement. Because a comeback that starts in silence ends in authority. Challenge yourself. Reduce what you reveal. Increase what you build. Let your results introduce you. And understand this clearly. Silence is not withdrawal from ambition. It is concentration. You are not shrinking your vision. You are protecting it. When you move quietly, you reduce external influence. Fewer opinions. Fewer doubts. Fewer distractions disguised as advice. This allows clarity to develop. Clarity about your weaknesses. Clarity about your strengths. Clarity about the skills that truly matter. You stop chasing random improvement. You become precise. Instead of trying to upgrade everything at once, you choose leverage points. Health, focus, communication. Financial discipline. You improve them methodically. No announcement, no countdown, no public timeline, just execution. There is something powerful about being underestimated. It removes expectation. It removes pressure to perform prematurely. It gives you room to experiment, to fail quietly, to adjust without embarrassment. In silence, you can be a beginner without shame. You can refine fundamentals. You can correct flaws that would be uncomfortable to admit publicly. This is where real identity work happens. You confront habits that sabotaged your last chapter. Impulsiveness, emotional reactions, poor discipline with time, attachment to validation. Instead of defending them, you dismantle them, piece by piece. Silence also teaches patience. When nothing external confirms your progress, you must rely on internal metrics. Did I execute today? Did I control my emotions? Did I move one step forward? Small wins become the focus, and small wins compound. The loud man measures progress by attention, likes, comments, recognition. The silent builder measures progress by precision, fewer mistakes, stronger boundaries, cleaner routines. One seeks reaction, the other builds foundation. Foundation takes time. There will be days when you question yourself, when no one notices the discipline, when the results are not yet visible. This is the critical phase. Most people break their silence here. They feel unseen, so they speak. But if you hold steady, something shifts internally. You stop needing to be observed. You start respecting yourself privately, and that private respect is different. It is not fragile. It does not fluctuate with opinion. It deepens with consistency. Eventually, results will surface, not because you announced them, but because they are inevitable when habits align. The comeback will not be dramatic. It will be undeniable. People will call it sudden. They will say you changed quickly, but you will know the truth. It started in silence. It grew in isolation. It was protected from noise. Now ask yourself one more time. Are you prepared to disappear for a season? To refine without recognition? To build without applause? Because that is where authority is forged. Quietly, deliberately, unstoppably. If you're building in silence, comment, silent comeback.